Hi everyone, and welcome to another lesson. Last time you wrote Cypher queries to create nodes and relationships. Now it's time to step back and see the big picture, your graph schema. A graph schema is a mental map. Here we're putting properties aside and we're wondering what kinds of entities exist and how do they connect. So we're not defining rigid tables, we're just defining flexible types. Before we jump into code, let's start with something simple. A few facts related to a movie that we want to model into a graph. Here we can see that Leonardo DiCaprio acted in Inception, Joseph Gordon-Levitt also acted, and Christopher Nolan directed the Inception. It's pretty straightforward, right? And now we want to break this down into a graph. So we know for a graph, we need to have nodes, relationships, and properties. So from the sentence, we can see that we have three people, Leonardo, Joseph, and Christopher, and that can be our people nodes. So for people nodes, we have property name that describes each of the nodes. We also see that we have one movie, which is Inception, and that can be our movie node. And the last thing we have to do is we have to define relationship types. From the sentences, we can see that we have two relationship types, acted in and directed. And the last thing to do is just connect the graph with those relationships. And you've transformed sentences into a knowledge graph. So from the knowledge graph, you're able to read through a graph and able to see the entire context behind your graph. Let's now head over to Memgraph Lab and actually build this graph. For this lesson, I again prepared a collection, but if you want to follow along, just feel free to paste the query provided in your email. So here you can see the create query that creates three people, creates a movie Inception, and creates relationships between those entities. So for the people, we have the name of the actor or director, and for the movie, we have the properties title and property year. So when we're creating properties, we are putting them inside a curly bracket and separating them with a comma. If you run this query, you can see that the node count went up for 4 and the relationship count went up for 3. Let's now visualize this graph. You're again running the same query as explained last time. And just a second, I'm going to go full screen so you can see the entire created graph. So we have all of the people and we have a movie they are connected to. And this is your entire graph. But what if I just want to know the schema of the graph? So I just want to know the general information about the entity types or the relationship types we have in the graph and how are they all connected. For that, let's head over to the Graph Schema tab in our lab. And you can see it auto-generates a visual schema based on your current data. So no setup, no code, just instant insight into how your data is structured. In our graph, we can see that we have two entities. So we have person and a movie, and then we have two relationship types, directed and acted in. If you want to know more information about those, if you click on each of the node or each of the relationships, you can see what properties they have and what is the coverage of that properties within your graph. And with this, you can see your data simplified. And that's it. Now it's your turn. Pick a topic you love, either music, books, startups, or anything else that comes in mind. Define 2 to 3 types of entities and few relationships and create a connected graph. Then head over to the Graph Schema tab and observe what your graph contains. If you need inspiration, here we prepared a pattern you can follow. So try to create this in Memgraph Lab, and if you get stuck on any help, feel free to reach out either on Discord or directly via email. And see you in our next lesson where we're going to kick off our real project and we're going to import our data and start working with a bit bigger data set. See you then.